Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, good. How's it going? Sorry, I'm just pulling over here.
Okay.
I didn't think you'd get me on that quickly.
So, are you in White Rock area, South Surrey?
Well, yeah, so Surrey area, exactly. Yeah.
So, tell everybody. I mean, you're Survival Moss, but tell everybody your name and your birthday so they know.
Daniel, and my birthday is September 8th, 1982.
Yeah, good old Virgo. An 8, you're a 16. I think you're a 16 degree. I think I did your chart or something like that.
Yeah, you did it. You did it live in person one day at one of our farmers market events.
So you're
Yeah.
survivalmoss.com, and that's so. Tell us, and people can go there. They can use a Human Garage code, right?
Correct. Yeah, Human Garage is the discount code you can use at checkout. That'll get you 10% off.
Okay.
Yeah, Survival Moss,
How'd you
freeze
start
dried
it?
sea moss.
Yeah, like
Well, you know what?
why'd you start it? How did you start it?
Okay, so my lovely wife is kind of the inspiration and motivation behind the entire thing. She was diagnosed many years ago with multiple sclerosis, and in our journey, we decided not to go the conventional treatment route. Instead, we went completely holistic. We took a very different approach. We went and cleaned up our water, cleaned up our food, our diet, changed our activities, just pulled a 180 in our lifestyle. And a big part of that was, first of all, elimination, right? Making sure we're eliminating as many of the toxins from our environment, but then also supplementation. And that's when we discovered sea moss, obviously because of its high mineral content, and we loved it. So we incorporated it into our diet. It became a huge part of our diet, and we loved it so much that we started sharing it with people. And the one thing that was always a bit of a drawback, barrier to entry, was that it wasn't shelf stable for very long. So we eventually decided we're going to find a way around that. And that's how we did that, is we started looking at preservation techniques. That's when we discovered freeze drying, and the rest is history.
So I mean, when I meet a lot of people that do CMOS,
Yeah.
and first of all, your wife doesn't look like she has MS, and on the other side, we have literally thousands of people that have gone through our programs with MS and Parkinson's and have reduced or eliminated all their symptoms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the great part is the partnership. On the other side is you've got the movements, the 28-day reset, and then the Lifestyle Artist program. You're going to find a lot of people in the Lifestyle Artist program with MS diagnoses that no longer have issues.
That's awesome. And actually, that was one of the things we've been meaning to touch base with you on, is what specific programs do you recommend for her to be doing to kind of help with the MS situation?
So the very first one is the 28-day reset. And because the 28-day reset, so you have to look at the consequences of a disease. What is a disease? Dis-ease, the body's not at ease. So if I am angry or I'm sad or I'm grieving, my body, if I'm angry, I'm like this. If I walk around like that, holding that anger for years, eventually it's going to affect my movement patterns, which affects my hormone patterns, which affects my digestion of food, my elimination, my processing. And I can take things like CMOS, or I can take things like supplements, and they will help me get to a point, but then they stop working too, because I haven't eliminated the core issue, which is what is the emotional state. And so in that program, you guys have already leaps and bounds ahead because you've eliminated chemicals, you've changed your diets and stuff like this. So this is going to start to get through the processing, because when I'm getting into trouble like MS or any diagnosis, is I have an emotion like anger, and then I go eat food. Well, that food fires hormones, which hits the save button on that anger. So that anger goes poof, sits in there, and it saves. Well, as I start doing fascial maneuvers, I'm moving the fluid and the tissue. Well, the emotions come up. That's why people are so emotional, and they start removing trauma just by doing it. So the 28-day reset is teaching the basic core principles of how to get your body out of trouble, and how to work. Like, when I have this emotion I don't like, what do I do? I have this physical pain I don't like, what do I do?
Like an emotional detox.
Right. And the emotional detox is physical because we think that movements, we're taught that movement happens from the brain telling the body to move, but that's just not true because before the body will move, I have to have an emotion called the desire.
Yeah.
So emotion precedes motion. So if my
Right.
emotions are dysregulated, my emotion is highly impacted. So like
Makes sense.
if I'm going to move my body, but I'm angry, I don't want to move my body, well, that's going to cause an effect on the emotion, and the emotion is how my body heals itself. It's motion that heals. And so getting her into the having her do the 28-day reset gives her the tools and the building blocks of knowing how to manage her internal state. And once you start managing your internal state, that leads to the Lifestyle Artist program, which you'll find almost all of our other partners or vendors are in that program.
Yeah.
And there's a network worldwide of people. And she'll find literally thousands of other people that have MS who are in various stages of no symptoms, from symptomatic all the way to no symptoms to them. It's those who have diagnoses that have cleared. Believe it or not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start. I'm going to have her start with the 28-day reset. I'm going to start there.
And
Any
do it with her.
recommendations beyond?
And
Of course.
you're the Virgo, so you'll do it with her.
Of course, I'm going to do it with her. To be honest, everything that we've done was really geared towards her health, but I took every step with her for that reason.
That's what a good Virgo would do, embody it. But the
Yeah.
but the thing is that okay, so that's where you go is you go into the 28-day reset, and then you guys have, because of your partnership, you can get a little bit of different access to us because we'll have partner events, partner meetings. And by the way, December 16th, if you guys want to show up, it's a Saturday.
I've been
You guys,
hearing about it.
yeah, we just announced it. So you guys, because you're a partner, you can show up and put up a booth and talk to people and stuff like that.
Cool.
And
Cool. We'd love that.
There should be somewhere between 500 and 800 people there.
We would love that. I would totally make room in our schedule to show up and set up a booth there for sure.
So now let's get on to what you did. So you got into buying CMOS. What was the reason? What drove you to CMOS? What was your research? What was the driving message? Like why was that there?
Well, a big part of it was just understanding that none of your organs are going to function properly without their building blocks. There's so much focus on vitamins, but minerals is often that thing that was overlooked. And a big part of my research was discovering that conventional farming has destroyed our soil's mineral content.
Yes.
And we're likely all sitting in a deficiency state. We don't have enough minerals in our body, and minerals are your organs, your organ food. That's your building blocks. That's what everything relies on in your body for your body to function. Your thyroid isn't going to function properly. It's not going to produce proper hormones without a certain level of minerals. It's your liver's not going to function properly. Your kidneys aren't going to function properly, and all of these things are very interdependent. If you're deficient on something like magnesium, for example, I mean, magnesium is responsible for over 400 biochemical reactions. Without it, none of those reactions take place, and then there's a daisy chain effect. So we knew that we needed to be in a state of proper supplementation for any kind of healing to occur, and we knew that we wanted to limit, external, factors interfering. So get rid of all the toxins. We cleaned up our water, etc. And so that all of those things kind of came to us step by step throughout our research. But yeah, the mineral thing was huge, and I didn't know where to get minerals in a bioavailable form, and we started digging around, and that's kind of when we discovered Dr. Sebi, and we discovered all of the all the benefits of CMOS and just everything, all the success stories, and we tried it. Everything starts there. You got to try it, and so
You gotta try it.
we went down.
You can read all the research you want, but you gotta try it.
Exactly.
And
So we went down that path.
Elon Musk, did you see that clip of him? He said, if in the future, there's one thing you should do is get used to. You should find your source of plants, specifically Irish CMOS.
Yeah, he said that. I didn't see.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere, right? Look for
Yeah.
Elon Musk and then CMOS. You'll probably find it. But so we get the mineralization now. CMOS has 94 of the 102 minerals that the body needs.
Right.
The funny part is you take vitamins, but your body can't absorb the vitamins without the minerals.
Yeah.
So,
People
so
don't
people
realize
take
how important the minerals are.
and then furthermore, the body can't properly absorb the minerals without silica. And right now, this is what I want to put a burr in your saddle and think about that, because silica, either diatomaceous earth or like horsetail or something like that, right now, because of the current environment in the air, they have all these jet spraying stuff. Well, it sprays barium, which depletes silica, plus the glyphosates, plus the forever chemicals. These all deplete the body's silica. So even when I take a balanced mineral, it works, but not at its highest effect. So what we do in our program is we get people to take diatomaceous earth. Now, we did this as an experiment with 10,000 patients. We gave all 10,000 patients silica. We put it in a formula that and we didn't tell them what it was. We just gave them a formula and said, take this. So it wasn't that they knew it was silica or anything like that. And we put it in a high concentrated liquid format which we made with our own lab. And what we found is that every patient had an improvement. Even the ones that were doing good did better. The ones that were doing bad, that weren't responding to treatment, responded to treatment. And Santo Bonacci, right? I mean, he's the guy who really got the science for me. And I just, like, the guy is so knowledgeable, but listening to him, it's hard because it's so dense. But I took what he said, and then he said basically even by astrological sign, each astrology sign is missing one of the elements. So we created 12 formulas and gave it to each astrological sign, and guess what? It worked. Now,
nice.
in the clinic, we couldn't tell everybody that, you're Sagittarius for giving you this, or you're Virgo. So we just labeled it 1 through 12.
Fair enough.
So it was an interesting experiment because it got me over the hump of believability. Now, so when if you guys could do a silica-based formula, we tell people all the time, we tell people that we have CMOS in our fascial flow. So why would I sell or promote yours? Is that ours is a supplement, yours is a food source. And we tell people all the time, you can't habituate your body. Like if you take a food source and you put Irish sea moss and you put it in soup, every time you eat that soup, the chemicals or the vitamins and the hormones that are provided hit the save button, and your body goes, oh, I like that. But it's highly dependent upon the minerals your body likes. So your body habituates it. Like if I tell you your favorite food, you start thinking about it, you salivate, your body starts creating bacteria and enzymes for that. That's a habituation, but you can't get that with a pill. So that's why we tell people, like, we sell supplements. We don't want you to buy our supplements forever. They're highly effective for short term. And then they're in a pill format, makes it easy. But we want them to use your product, or we want them to use or buy it, make it themselves, or get their local place, or buy it from you, whatever.
Absolutely.
And we want them to put it in soups. I put it in, what I do is I put CMOS gel. I put in a little blender thing. I put it in with lime, fresh lime, carbonated water, and we have fascial sweet, which is 0 calorie sweet, and that regulates blood sugar at the same time. And I put a little bit of mint in it. I make a drink of that, and my body craves it. So like when I'm thinking thirst and refreshment, my body's thinking about that drink, which is why we want you guys to get something silica based in there.
Yeah. I would like to do that. We're not opposed to, we've experimented with a few different blends. One of the things my wife found was very helpful for MS was lion's mane. Lion's mane obviously being very impactful for your brain and regenerating myelin and nerve growth factor and all those wonderful things. So we do have an immune support blend, which is effectively our MS blend, that is half freeze-dried lion's mane and half freeze-dried sea moss. So I think incorporating things like silica and there's a few other things that we're kind of eyeballing as well that are beneficial. So definitely not opposed to that. And I would love to have an offline conversation with you about that as well.
We will. And by the way, up at Lions Bay, we're growing We're growing, I think, 200 pounds of lion's mane a month right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we've been documenting the process so that people can learn to grow it in their apartments. So, because it's not easy. Like I mean, it's easy to do it if you know it, but but the information about all the pitfalls, everybody says, oh, go do this, and you go do it, and it's like, well, yeah, 10 grand later, we figured it out. So we're creating education on how to grow medicinal mushrooms, how to grow microgreens,
That's awesome.
how to grow herbs and stuff like that, and different systems for doing that. So we can have you up at line. We actually have an event up at afterwards there, and you can meet Jordan. So we have the event on 16th, and then we have a partners and lifestyle artists event at the house at the retreat center after that. You're welcome to, but you can collaborate with us up there, and because we want to have more content around that, and that's what we're doing is we're building all the education so we can get content to help share it with everybody.
People need to take control of their food supply, I think. So I love that. I'm all for that, and we're absolutely on board.
This much in sprouts or this much in broccoli.
Yeah, I know.
Same nutrients.
Microgreens are amazing. Yeah, and you don't need a lot of space. People don't realize you can do them in a pretty small little nook.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we started off with, just on a countertop, and then we went to a small little tent, and then we went to a room, and now it's like a couple 100 pounds of mushrooms and stuff a month. So we documented all the stages so that we can share. We're gonna have a program on our app. In our community portal that tells people how to start off, and gives them a community to talk and ask questions and share information, etc.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, my wife would love to get on a live with you. She's actually been trying a couple times over the last little while, and she hasn't.
To Lisa.
Okay.
Reach out to Lisa and then just schedule it, and we'll get on. We'll have a really good conversation.
Yeah,
get some content.
She's much better at telling her story than I am. I kind of butcher it. I'm the logistical guy, and she's the other half of the equation here. So she'll be able to give you a little more insight on that. Right? She's born April 18th.
Aries first. Yeah. So have her reach out to Lisa, and then she'll schedule out the live. I'm looking forward to having that conversation. But last thing is that the most amazing thing that you guys have done, and the reason why I wanted to work with you, I found you myself. I'm out at a farmer's market getting mushrooms, and is because you did something unique no one else is doing. You freeze dried it, which means it's shelf stable. So I travel with it, and I'm able to take it and travel. And you know what I find also, the kids that won't take the gel, they'll take the freeze dried, they sprinkle it on cereal.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother them. They love it.
Yeah, I mean that's I travel with it too. I keep one in my car, and I literally just throw it in my coffee. I wake up every morning, I go through Tim Hortons drive-through, and I 2 scoops right into my coffee, and that's how I get my minerals. It's great.
Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting conversation when your wife starts going through the program. We'll help you with the next step. Because there's things that you guys are doing that I could already see that when you change them, it's going to accelerate both of you.
Oh, we appreciate that. I hope so. I'm excited for that.
Okay,
well, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, it's good talking to you. And everybody that's watching, survivalmoss.com, go there, use the code Human Garage, you get a discount, and support these guys. These guys are doing great stuff. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care.